Hello, good morning. Here we are. Hopefully we got the countdown right. And first, let's address the elephant in the room. The words that I'm going to get properly confused. Those words are the right way around. Because clearly when I watched back the replay, and thank you if you are watching this back in a replay, I clearly didn't have something switched on that it was mirroring. So yourself was blah, blah, blah. Basically, it just didn't really come about. So thank you for coming in this morning. I do have other mugs. It's just that this morning I clearly have got my Robin mug again. And there is an update on sheep wrangling. I'll come to that in a minute. And maybe if you weren't on the live on Tuesday, you haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. So thank you for coming here this morning. And I know we're in a really, really important and aware week this week. And I will touch on this in a little while. It's Mental Health Awareness Week. And I was chatting to my partner about this a moment ago. I believe that it's a subject that should be front and center of our thinking 365 days of the year. And I'm not saying it isn't, but it's just highlights certain things. And there's things that I process when we're in a week like this. So first of all, I have written down, got a little list here to keep us on point. 1 minute. Siri, timer, 9 minutes. Siri's asleep. Siri, timer, 9 minutes. There you go. Okay, it's clearly not coming back to me. Why 9? Because I've already spoken for 1. This is a 10-minute slot. I'm going to do these every Tuesday and Thursdays. You'll see on the screen somewhere I've got here, there's a QR code you can scan up. It connects you to my website. I've got an offer there on this month, and I'll have an offer each month rolling. So if you want to do some work with me, that's cool. All right. This isn't really about pitching. This is about what I talked about on my post today, which is about connection. And connection to ourselves is the core principle of conscious development. So where did this phrase conscious development come from? Well, for years, and I'm thinking back about quite a few decades, I've been interested in personal growth, personally, professionally. And we talk about, it started off in the self-help market, and then it was kind of personal development, professional development, career development, developing houses, done a couple of things like that as well. But this element of growth and building forward. And there was a phrase that I wanted to use, which I'd had to, the phrase isn't mine. It's not originally mine, but it's just, I was talking about conscious awareness and conscious intent. And it became very, very clear that to encompass life, business, work, career, whatever we're here on this platform for, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, it's about how do we move through that timeline of growth if we choose to. But becoming conscious, aware, and once we do, we can either choose to ignore those things or we can do something about it. And I posted on a comment this morning on LinkedIn about, universal signs. Someone posted about universal signs. I said they keep coming back. We keep running into the wall, and sometimes we have to do reconstructive surgery because we really don't get the message. And then at some point we get the message and we kind of go, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, fine. And the universe will go, here's your next lesson. So it's a continuum. So my whole approach when I talk about connection with self, because that's the subject of today's live, is about, are we ignoring the signs or are we consciously aware and doing something about it? So what I want to dip into, and I'll give you a little update on sheep wrangling. This morning, myself and my partner are having our morning coffee, and this is the second one, by the way. This morning we heard something outside, and this morning it was a little bit more sedate than the quad sheep wrangling thing that went on Tuesday. They were just rounding up the sheep. And it was really, really funny because sheep are sheep. Sheep have this habit of doing certain things. They're pretty cunning animals, but ultimately they do replicate humans quite a lot. Or is it humans that replicate sheep? I heard this phrase years ago. We had someone on a podcast, previous podcast, and he talked about sheeple, people doing the things that people do and just following the pack. So, yeah, nothing too spectacular going on this morning out there, but it was quite interesting. I have taken a photograph, but I haven't figured out how to upload the photograph and put it onto the screen here. Well, that will be coming soon. So what I wanted to talk about was how you are connecting with yourself, because I appreciate we've already had 4 minutes that have gone by. Now, one thing I want to do, and I'm going to give you a practical tip here. This is something that serves me well, and I don't know where it came from. I give credit to people. I don't plagiarize things. I believe that we just put our flip on things and new information comes through. But here's something really practical for you. Okay. Now, when it comes to connection to self, because ultimately, what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to connect with you, and whether we form, a personal relationship, I've already spoken for, a business relationship, we are doing something within our community. We want to kind of get what we believe out into the world. It's about connection. And as a 50-something-year-old guy, I'm trying to figure out how to use technology, these platforms, my beliefs, my values, my reason for doing what I do to create connection. But first, what we have to do is we have to look at our life. And it's a real simple illustration. Some of you might get this, is the things that take us away from source, from ourself, okay, can be put into 4 categories. Things that add to ourself and things that take away. Now, that could be people, that could be circumstances, that could be our habits, that could be things that we tried but haven't really dug into to kind of move away from or move along from or across from, whatever kind of in motion word you want to use. And then these are the ones that you need to be careful of or mindful of. They're the ones that multiply us digging into ourselves, but the ones that divide. Now, generally, ones that divide are directives from other people saying, we want you to do this, you should do this, this is the route that you should follow. They want you to be a sheep in the pack going down their route, their agendas. Okay, now I'm not going to get into economics, societal kind of constructs and what we're encouraged to do, but the more that we get away from ourselves because of subtraction and division, the less we are balanced within ourselves. This whole model of conscious development is how can we sit with ourselves, whatever we're doing, whatever our, our day-to-day endeavors are, and how happy we are in ourselves. Because our bodies, our nervous system, our neural pathways, our cortisol levels, the way that we communicate with the people in our close space is directly linked to how connected we are with ourselves. And this seems an obvious statement, but yet it's one that a lot of people miss. Oh, they did that. They did this. It was their fault. No. You've just shunned responsibility. You've avoided the signs that were showing up in your world. You decided to sidestep. You've gone towards the negatives. This whole simple tool, and you can show, I would like to say someone showed me in a pub back along when we used to go to pubs. Someone wrote this down and it's really stuck with me. Okay. And my actions are the things that I'm doing adding value to me, to who I am. For instance, this, I'm connecting with you on here. Hopefully you're getting a benefit from it. And I really do appreciate it. And what all influencers now do is if you do, please like, comment, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yes, I have 22 subscribers. Okay. Would you like to be number 23? All my usernames are Martin Miller UK, so it's at Martin Miller UK on Facebook, on Instagram. No, I don't use Instagram. I decided that's not the route I want to go, but LinkedIn and YouTube. Okay. Had to get that one in there because it's on my notes. Think about the things that multiply yourself. A lot of understanding yourself. A lot of the time, these are difficult conversations. These are the conversations we don't want to have with ourselves. And sometimes circumstances force us to have these conversations. And they are the most revealing, they're the most enlightening, they're the most encouraging. But until we stop and recognize, okay, how is this affecting? And obviously I could have put ourself there, yourself, okay, we'll start bypassing and going around these things. So as we come into the last couple of minutes, what I wanted to do was in this week that is Mental Health Awareness Week is that be really, really mindful. Be mindful of how we are showing up. You are showing up yourself. Have conversations that may be on repeat, that may be cyclical, even if they are awkward, even if they are really uncomfortable. And this could be you having a conversation with yourself in the mirror. This could be having a conversation with someone because they are on this side. They are not connected to you. Now, they may have been at one time, but not necessarily now. And that's the rub. Because as we develop forward, as we step into conscious development, we are aware of so much more of the things that don't serve us now, but potentially, maybe in the future, if that's the direction of your timeline, maybe in the future could serve you. But until we start to figure out what elements it plays in our world, and as a result, how we feel about ourselves and how we then attach meaning to things and how we move forward, we will go in circles and cycles and spirals. Okay, so if you want to tap into the world of conscious development, connect me, have a conversation. I do not do bullshit. I do not do pitch fest. I've got some great services. I've got some great clients I work with. I work with solo operators. I work with people in business. I work with board directors. I work with people that are really think they've got it covered. And I mean that respectfully to them. But actually, there's something underlying a service that isn't aligned, because my whole principle is to manifest, align prosperity, to create, whatever context, alignment from ourself through to life fulfillment, and then prosperity, however we process that consciously in our world. Okay. So I'm practicing this sign off, which is have a cool and conscious day. Perfectly on time. Thank you for joining us. And I apologize because if any comments have been put in, I haven't been able to see them because I've clearly not put that up on the screen. Catch up next Tuesday and keep an eye out. Let's see what comes on the next conversation. But remember this one. Siri, thank you very much. I'll see you again, and enjoy your morning coffee or other drinks.